podcast doesn't exist. Episode 16 in the house. Let me know how you thought how that intro went with the soundboard. That was an experiment we just tried to do a lot of different sounds during the intro. That's the new intro. But a lot in the news today. Juan Soto continues to be in the news. Juan Soto has it's been quite the week for Juan Soto. Have you heard of this, Jack?
Have I heard of Juan Soto?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you know what's going on.
I could tell you all about it, but I want you to do it.
Yeah, that is my job. But I mean, Juan Soto's body language. There's a lot of talk about Juan Soto's body language. Juan Soto hates the Mets. Juan Soto hates his teammates. Now Juan Soto's not hustling. The Mets are faltering. The Mets, I think, what is it, Mitch? 5 out of 6 the Mets have lost?
At least the last 4? At least the last 4.
At least the last 4 games. Funny you say that's actually been 3 games in a row. So.
Well.
Fuck, dude. You think you can trust a guy? And the facts are wrong. The Mets have lost 3 in a row. They've lost 5 out of their last 6. They have fallen from first place. They're now in second place behind the filthy Phillies, who we will bring up later. But it's really the talk of the town is Soto, man, because Soto, he's not fucking hustling, Mitch.
He hates the Mets.
He hates the Mets and he's not hustling. And you know what happens when you're the Mets and some player on a different team has some controversy about not hustling, and you put some guy on the scoreboard and make fun of another team because their star player isn't hustling? And then that's bad karma, and now the Mets it's coming back to roost because Juan Soto, let's just go through the timeline of Juan Soto since he's become a Met. How long has he been a Met for? How many days? I want to know how many hours, how many seconds has what? It feels like he's been a Met for a long time at this point. Matt Mitchell's looking up.
Really put him on the spot.
Matt, how many seconds has he been in the?
Well, it's been 161 days.
Okay.
I have no idea how to
He
figure out
said
the seconds.
seconds, Mitch. You have a computer in front of you, Mitch.
It's my birthday, and you're not even caring enough.
It's up to the umpire, whose
Sorry.
word is law.
Yeah,
Unbelievable, Jack.
It's not what I was trying to hit.
tough day for the soundboards. So
I
far.
gotta get rid of that fucking drop.
Okay, so it's been 100 and how many days?
161 days.
Juan Soto's been a Met for 161 days. We all know how it went down. You know, he gets traded to the Yankees last season, goes off for the mighty Yankees. You know, he is just hitting a cover off the ball, leading the league in pretty much every statistical category. Almost leading the league in almost every statistical category, but Aaron Judge beats him. It's the 1-2 punch in the Bronx. They love it. Juan Soto takes him to the World Series. Walk-off home run. He feels like a Yankee, says he wants to be a Yankee. And then he leaves the Yankees. He says, you know what? I want to be a Met. You know, there were some things going on behind the scenes where the Yankees apparently weren't as open to helping out his family in terms of getting tickets to the games, flights to away series, where the Mets were like, we'd love to have your family have a private jet to every game. We'd love your family to have a suite. And Juan Soto said, I'm going to choose the Mets for almost pretty much the same money, but really emphasize his family as being a big factor in liking the family vibes of the Mets. However, since he's been there, I don't know, families fight, but the body language, Mitch, they're calling out his body language hardcore.
Yeah. I mean, Soto had the it factor with the Nationals, sort of with the Padres, and definitely with the Yankees. And right now, he's not even shuffling.
He's not shuffling. That's concerning. Not only he's not grabbing his cock at pitchers after balls and strikes. And a lot of people online will say, well, you made $765 million. How could you be sad? Take it from a guy who's made more money than you could even imagine. I mean, everyone who's listening to this, you guys probably don't even know. If you saw my bank account, you'd probably fucking jump off a bridge. You're probably at some shit fucking job. You probably, but me, I made so much money on YouTube that like, I kind of relate to Juan Soto. You know what I'm saying? Like life still is actually harder for me than it is you guys listening to this, because it's a lot of responsibility. So like I'll put myself in Juan Soto's shoes. I'm not sure that $765 million is enough to make you like happy to hang out with people like, Pete Alonso and Brandon Nimmo all day. Like that would be frustrating that you have to hang out with those guys.
They're too broke.
Yeah, they're broke and, they're just not lame. They're just kind of lame. I think Juan Soto just doesn't like being a Met because the new jerseys suck. Have you seen the new jerseys?
The blue one sucks. The gray one's fine. The blue one sucks.
The new blue jerseys they got, like, who wants to wear that shit? Right? I'd rather wear pinstripes. Personally.
He signed that contract and then they released the blue jerseys. Had he known, he's probably back in the Bronx.
It's a good it is a great question and scenario. Those jerseys are so bad. Yeah, and Juan Soto's a guy with swag. But back to the reason why we brought this up in the first place is he failed out to run a ball. And if we got that on there, I want to show this. He fails to run out this ball. And this is against the Yankees. It's a ground ball to second base. Doesn't run it out of the box. Gets thrown out by like a step or two. But, why aren't you hustling Juan Soto? Then in a series against the Red Sox, he does it again. Doesn't run out again. And now Juan Soto is in very hot water. I mean, Mets fans are turning on Juan Soto. They're saying he hates his own team. He wishes he was still on the Yankees. He's miserable. And this is all according to the New York media. The New York media is having a lot of fun with this. And so are we. But like the amount of fucking attention Juan Soto is getting for like kind of being frowning on the field is more than you would expect. According to Google Trends, Juan Soto is getting about the same amount of attention right now as he was in the 2024 World Series. All because he's not smiling as much as he used to. It's a big issue. The Post put him on the cover. New York Post, dude, they're having a field day with shit. He's no longer Juan Soto. He's Juan Slow-Mo. Thoughts on that?
I bet whoever wrote this headline was feeling very, very proud of themselves.
What do you like more, Jack? Juan Soso or Juan Slow-Mo?
Juan Soso's funnier. It's better. Juan Slow-Mo doesn't really work to me.
Juan Slow-Mo? Well, hey,
Good, dude.
when you're Juan Slow-Mo, they have this picture, like they picked this picture that made him look fat, like it's obvious they want to like show this guy as like an out of shape. You got a lot of money, you buy a lot of caviar or something, and you get fat and you're not hustling as much. He's going by Juan Slow-Mo. He's the new Daniel Vogelbach in New York, apparently. You lose one Vogelbach, you got to replace him with another. And we all saw at his return to Yankee Stadium. He got booed, tortured, harassed by fans, went 1 for 10. As I said, this was a tie game, right? When he didn't hustle out this ground ball, Mitch. Was it a tie game? Do you know the situation?
Yeah, it was a tie game. Ooh, in the 8th inning, too.
Yes, tie game in the 8th inning. Hits this ground ball, doesn't hustle it out. Now, there's more reports. He agreed to do an interview on the field in the middle of the game on Sunday, then changed his mind minutes before the game. He didn't want to be mic'd up by ESPN, saying he was tired of answering questions about Aaron Judge. After the game, he left the stadium unannounced, refusing to talk to the media. The Mets hierarchy is apparently concerned about Soto's lack of enthusiasm for his new team and how happy he looked when he was hanging out with his old Yankee teammates. And this is all according to a guy at NewJersey.com. So that's the thing. It's like people are, they say it all the time, New York's not for everybody. Like the media's crazy. You go to New York, Shohei's out in LA. He goes 0 for 20. It's not that big of a deal. They're nice over there. But in New York, they got publications like NewJersey.com, which for some fucking reason is like actually a reputable source. Well, I don't know why NewJersey.com became. I got to learn more about NewJersey.com, but they come up a lot in research, right? NewJersey.com.
Anything with like Yankees and Mets, it's like the Post, NewJersey.com.
New Jersey. I have paid $5.
Domain, dude.
I had to pay $5 today to read a fucking article on NewJersey.com, and I did it because it's NewJersey.com. You got to read it. This shit. If you're not subscribed to NewJersey.com, get on NewJersey.com. But I mean, that article, a lot of this stuff that's coming out, everything I just mentioned, is kind of just a guy saying that he's heard through his sources, anonymous sources, that the hierarchy is concerned about Juan Soto's lack of enthusiasm for his new team, how happy he is and how happy he looks with old Yankee teammates. And there's been some examples of this throughout the year. You know, that he doesn't join the celebration after Nimmo's grand slam. That clip went viral. Not viral, but you know, he's been hasn't been doing the shuffle all year. The New York media claims Soto was taking a private jet and not flying with the team to go to away series, which would be fucking insane, but that is not true. Juan Soto goes on the team plane like every other player. More reports out of the New York Post. Soto is, quote, very, very glum. Michael K. Now, this is probably the biggest one of the New York gossip coming out about Juan Soto. Michael K. says he's heard Juan Soto wanted to go to the Yankees, but his family preferred the Mets and pressured him to sign with the Mets, even though he didn't want to. So, according to Michael K., someone Michael K. heard from, Juan Soto actually wants to be a Yankee still, but his family told him to be in the Mets, and he can't just tell his family, no, I'd rather be on the Yankees. Do you buy that?
I mean, you can't just say, hey, it's the same thing. I'm not going to Kansas City. It's New York. We're going to be in New York. I don't buy that, actually.
I know, right? It's like, I mean, Juan Soto loves his family. I mean, he's said it a lot of times. I'm not sure, does he like his family that much? To be like, yeah, I'll just go to a team that I don't want to play for, who I just because you guys like them more?
Like, I can't buy that. I don't know. Maybe Soto's relationship with his family is a little different.
It'd be a lot. You know, it's kind of a helicopter parent move to be like, no, you're 26 and you're about to sign the biggest contract in sports history, but guess what?
Mommy wants me to go to the Mets.
Yeah, mom wants me to be on a Mets.
Juan Soto's 26.
Yeah, man, he's a young superstar.
He looks like he's 38.
Oh my God.
Simpsons.
Watch out. Holy shit, Jack. Are you saying Juan Soto lied about his age?
No.
Wow.
Is that like a theory out there?
Wow, he's the first person to ever accuse Soto of that.
Dude, a fucking
Despicable.
broadcast for the Braves got basically fired for that, Jack. I'd be careful what you're saying right now.
If the Braves are willing to demote a broadcaster, what do you think Joey's going to do to you?
Yeah, it's kind of just because
Happy birthday, Joey.
just because he's from the Dominican Republic, you don't trust his age. You don't think they have birth certificates there? Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't think I know what I'm stepping in right now.
Okay, Joe Simpson. God damn, you can't even. Juan Soto's 26. And he made a $765 billion. Anyway, so then in last night's game against the Red Sox, and it gets worse for the Mets because the Mets have already lost 2 games to the Red Sox, 2 games they wish they would have won, because I think they would have wished they won every game. But Juan Soto launches a ball, thinks it's gone, watches it a little too long, then runs, isn't able to make it to second base. So he's loafing it, pimps a home run that's not a home run. After the game, his manager said he'll talk to Soto about it. About him not hustling, and Soto says he doesn't think his hustle is an issue, and if you watch the game, you would notice he hustled a lot. Unfortunately for Soto saying that he hustled a lot, there are 2 clips in the last week of him not hustling. It's pretty undeniable. He did not hustle. Now, Mitchell, I did say you put some bullshit in the fucking doc about how actually he did hustle on that play in New York.
I'm not saying that he hustled. I'm just saying that the New York media made it appear that, like, he was Albert Pujols out there, and it was like a deep grounder to short that, like, the shortstop, like, 6-hopped to first base. It would have been really hard for someone, like, with Soto's typical speed to beat that out. Someone on Twitter clocked it at 4.33 seconds, the whole play from LeMahieu fielding it to the throwing it to first base. And Soto's home to first is like 4.4. So even if Soto was busting his ass, he probably wouldn't have made it. But, like, in the situation, 2-2 game, it's a ground ball to one of the worst defensive second basemen in baseball, and he never reached top speed. I do get that it looks really bad.
Yeah. He wasn't running as fast as I think Soto's a little emotionally drained. You know, we all think we're tough guys and everything, but I think 50,000 people calling you a piece of shit and saying your family's going to die, I think that can get annoying after 3 days. I think Juan Soto's just annoyed. First of all, does Juan Soto hate being on the Mets? I don't know. I feel like, bro, I mean, last year in New York at the Bronx, he's with Judge, Stanton, I mean, these are A-list guys. He's hanging out with Aaron Judge at the red carpet, fucking cool guys. Now he's got to hang out with Pete Alonso. It's like I could see you kind of being like off, kind of not that excited, right? Like you went from Judge, now Brandon Nimmo's like your boy. You know what I'm saying? He probably saw Brandon Nimmo take a walk and was like, I'm never hustling again. That's the cringiest shit I've ever seen. Like not only am I on the Mets now with these gross ass looking jerseys, I got to play with fucking Pete Alonso. And I like Pete Alonso, dude. I've been on record.
Pete Alonso's catching all of your strays. Can you believe he has to play with Pete Alonso, Brandon Nimmo, Pete Alonso.
I mean, first day, Pete Alonso's just like, yeah, man, what's up, Juan? We got a pumpkin.
Jeff McNeil in the clear. It's just Pete Alonso.
Well, Jeff McNeil's been hurt. I think, I don't know. Pete Alonso seems like a guy who says brochacho a lot. I was thinking, or like, how like, remember, you know what I'm saying? He's like, what's up, bro, Chacho? Juan, you want to come after the game for a barbecue? Juan's like, no, man. Fuck. Aaron Judge used to have like private part. I don't know. What do you think Pete Alonso and Brandon Nimmo do for fun?
You think Pete Alonso just is missing all of the signs that Soto's not down to chill every day? Going to play pool, going to a bar. You want to come? Oh, come to my house. Movie night at my house. And Soto's just saying no, and Pete Alonso's still not getting it.
I know. It's like emotionally draining. He has this like annoying guy wanting to be, everyone on the Mets wants to be friends with him. And he's like, these guys are just kind of lame. Like, I don't know. Like even Lindor, like the smile is a little corny. I'm kind of getting tired of Lindor's antics. Like Kodai Senga, like cool, chill guy, but he doesn't even, he speaks Japanese. I can't be, what am I going to hang out with Griffin Canning?
What if Soto's just kind of shy, dude? What if it's just taking him a little while to get his feet under him? You know what I mean? He's not the brochacho.
It's tough to describe Juan Soto as shy. At 19 years old, grabbing his cock in the World Series against Justin Verlander.
I do think there's a difference between Soto the performer and Soto like in his everyday life, because there were a lot of reports in 2023 that Soto was just an outsider in the Padres clubhouse. Like he was always sitting in his locker alone. No one, he wasn't talking to anybody. And he was terrible by his standards with the Padres. And finally he gets traded to the Yankees. He breaks out. He has fun. And maybe he just doesn't, I don't know who it could possibly be on the Yankees that sparked his social battery, but now he just doesn't have it.
He doesn't have it.
He's drained again.
He doesn't, I mean... Can you blame? I mean, doesn't want to hang out with Jesse Winker after the game. I mean, I feel like Jesse Winker and Pete Alonso after every game are like, bro, let's a shotgun a beer or something. And so it was just like not down to like be a part of the guy, just not one of the Mets.
I do wonder more on a serious note, if Soto is like, it's not like Soto went from DC to New York. Like he went from New York to New York. And this weekend, he's like, oh, I'm around these people everywhere I go. It's not like I'm back in New York for a road trip and then I get to go back to LA. He's like, these fans legitimately hate me and they will see me everywhere I go.
Oh, like out on the street and shit?
Yeah, on the street. Like going to Yankee Stadium is one thing, but it's not like he got to go home after this.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's like this fan base hates Juan Soto, the Yankees fan base, but it's the same city that he lives in. So he's like in a civil war, in the middle of a civil war, a New York City civil war where it's like half the people fucking hate him. Other people love him. But now the Mets fans are hating on him, calling him fucking slow-mo. I mean, Soto's going to figure it out. I mean, Soto is not even hitting bad, too. This is the crazy. I mean, he's getting more attention now than he did in the World Series because he's like, I don't know, his posture is not as good as it could be. I mean, it's not like the guy is hitting 200.
His baseball savant page is just red.
I know, it's amazing.
Like dark red.
Like he must, I mean, right now he's got a 134 OPS plus, OPS over 815. Like these are well above average numbers. It's not Juan Soto-esque. It's not the highest paid player of all fucking time. But these are really good numbers. He's not having a bad season. And if you look at his other numbers, it looks like he's getting unlucky to even have these numbers that are good. I just think Juan Soto is going to be fine. I mean,
his expected batting average is 60 points higher than his actual. batting average.
Yeah.
Like that's brutal.
I mean, it's fun to dunk on the Mets, and I do like the narrative. It was like, fuck, I got to hang out with fucking Pete Alonso, and god damn it.
I mean, he does have friends
Jesse
on the
Winker,
Mets. He loves these bullpen guys. He loves them.
For some
Absolutely loves them.
what is the word with that? He loves the bullpen more than the players, or he just is in the bullpen all the time? Why'd they write it? They wrote an entire article about Juan Soto going to the bullpen a lot. I mean, that is just the essence of what you become the highest paid player in sports history. It's just everything you do is now a headline. There's an article about him being friends with the bullpen. Why is there an article about that, Mitchell?
I mean, how often do you see your right fielder just every second that he gets, pitching change?
Yeah.
Time to go to the bullpen.
Well, who gives a fuck if he's hanging out in the bullpen and pitching changes? But the Athletic...
But he's not hanging out with the other outfielders. He's not hanging out with Brandon Nimmo and... Who is their center fielder?
Oh, could you blame him? Who the fuck wants to hang out with Brandon Nimmo? Like, that's the issue here that no one's talking about. I think it's not why you mad. If you're a Mets fan, don't be mad at Juan Soto. Be mad at Brandon Nimmo, Jesse Winker, and Pete Alonso for not being guys you want to hang out with. They don't even feel like chill guys. You know? Probably nice enough guys, but I really think that Juan Soto saw Brandon Nimmo get walked for the first time and put his head down and sprint to first base and was like, I will never look that stupid in my life. I'm not sprinting no matter what. If I'm in the Mets, I'm not sprinting.
You don't
and
think
that's why
Soto saw that as a 19-year-old and went, oh. But he still signed with the Mets, so like clearly it wasn't that big of a deal.
I don't know.
I think what's happening is they have nothing to say about Juan Soto. But when you put Juan Soto in the headline of an article, people read it.
Hey, man, look at our podcast. We fucking put him in the title like 5 times this year.
Yeah, what did we say? Like Juan Soto fucking hates everything about the Mets or something?
Yeah, Juan Soto hates his own fucking team. He wants the Mets to die. He's probably going to try to kill the owner soon, try to get out of this contract. Anything to push the narrative that Juan Soto hates being a Met.
Juan Soto, 48?
What do you mean?
Years old.
Oh yeah. Well, we don't tolerate that kind of stuff. We're gonna have to send you to the we're getting you off the video podcast and putting him on Jack audio only.
Can I ask you something? What about the pimping the home run? What are your actual thoughts on doing that, like in general? Like if it wasn't for that grounder faux pas, like would anyone really be mad about him trying to pimp the home run and ended up on first?
People hate pimping a homer that turns into a single.
Yeah, I mean, it happens all the time. For it to be in the news, we just saw Acuna in the news for doing it, I guess years ago. But if you're not a star player, I mean, it's not going to be breaking news to someone. I mean, it happens probably once a week.
But how much do you love it when it works and it is a homer?
I mean, yeah, I like guys pimping home runs. But if a guy in your team, especially when you've lost 5 out of 6 and the guy's already been in trouble for not hustling, hits a ball that he thinks is a home run, acts like it's a home run, and only gets a single. It's like, fuck. Now, you just turned in what should have been a double into a single. It's frustrating. And the Mets need to win right now. The Mets are first time all year the Mets have struggled. Like we said, lost 5 out of 6. Now they're behind the Phillies. Pete Alonso himself made 2 throwing errors. Once against the Yankees that cost them, and once in Game 1 against the Red Sox. They've lost 2 in a row to the Red Sox. The offense has been shit, huh? Or is it as runners in scoring position is the issue?
They're basically like the 2020 Mets, where they have a really good offense when no one's on base. They're like 20% better than league average if the bases are empty. If they have a runner on first, or like any runners on base, they go down to 5% worse than league average. And if they have runners in scoring position, they are 12% worse than league average. They have the 23rd offense with runners in scoring position. So as soon as bases are second and third, runners on second and third, they just can't hit.
Sounds to me that they're a great offensive team, but they're not a clutch team. If runners are on base, they suck. I mean, Juan Soto is like that too. Juan Soto this year with runners in scoring position has a 481 OPS. He's batting 128 with runners in scoring position. With men on base, he's hitting 160. Okay, so his OPS with nobody on base is fucking 500 points higher. With no one on base, Juan Soto has been an elite player. With men on base, he's not been an elite player. To me, whenever I see a team that's just like, the problem with the offense is they can't hit with runners in scoring position. To me, that's a sign that they're just going through a bad stretch. They're getting a little unlucky, you know? Like, I'm not really worried about this Mets team.
I mean, that runners in scoring position stat though, that's all season. Like, I couldn't figure out how to make it for the month of May, but like that whole season long is them not producing with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, it's terrible. But I feel like it's rare for a team to just really be bad with runners in scoring position over a full year. Like, eventually, if you're a good hitting team, which they are, with no matter what, even Juan Soto doesn't want to hang out with these guys and hates to see them every single second. A Juan Soto who hates the Mets, plus a Lindor, plus a Pete Alonso. Am I missing one more? Who's the other fourth hitter for the Mets? Fourth best hitter on the Mets. I guess
is it not Nimmo?
I guess Nemo, right? Fuck. But anyway, that top three, it's a dangerous lineup. They're not hitting with runners in scoring position. But we all know the Mets will be back, bro. I'm not too worried about the Mets.
How do you feel about Pete Alonso? A couple weeks ago, a week ago, you were high on him for like potential MVP, and this month he's been pretty mediocre.
It happens. He won't be MVP anymore, especially if he plays first base like that. He's been terrible at first base. He's one of the worst defensive first basemen. He made 2 throwing errors to cost the game. I mean, he's probably happy Juan Soto is taking all the attention off him, because if this was last year, all the Mets fans would be on Alonso's ass. What happened, Alonso? Now he can't hit in May. Now he's making throwing errors. He's costing the team. He's doing ironic celebrations on the field. That's not the Mets way. Juan Soto probably saw Pete Alonso do that fake celebration and was just like, God fucking damn it. Put me back in the Bronx, dude, because the stadiums aren't that far apart. He probably drives by Yankee Stadium on his way home from games and just goes,
what could have been?
I want to be a Yankee so
But mommy wouldn't let me.
He probably that roll call. Everyone's hating on the roll call guy. Juan Soto loves the roll call guy. He loves it. They go, Juan Soto. Juan Soto. Juan Soto is just waking up in the middle of the night hearing Juan Soto and tipping his cap and waking up and, oh, fuck, it's not real. I'm on the Mets now. Fuck.
What if it's the Mets' fault, dude? What if they're like, oh, he's so rich. Fuck this guy. He thinks he's going to come over here and be the fucking...
It is the
Mr.
Mets' fault.
Mets.
It's their fault for being the cringiest franchise in the league. Who wants to play for them, dude? Only cringe players. And Juan Soto is not a cringe player. There's one thing about Juan Soto is he's not cringe. He's one of the most alpha, elite, coolest, shit-talking, beast fucking players in MLB history. Some of the most swag you've ever seen from a young player. Now he's on the cringiest franchise in baseball history. And it just doesn't add up. It doesn't look right. And they got in a fight yesterday too. That's also being buried. The Mets... Walker Buehler and the nicest guy in baseball are in a full-on beef. Okay, Buehler just hit Lindor, got ejected, and called Francisco Lindor out on Twitter, okay? And it's all because this umpire, who was it, Laz Diaz?
Surprisingly not, Mike Estabrook.
Okay, it wasn't Laz Diaz.
Laz Diaz is on the same crew.
Okay.
I think he's the crew chief.
Sorry to Laz Diaz. It's not Laz Diaz's fault. It's all because this other umpire's a fucking idiot, according to everybody online, at least. The Buehler-Lindor beef, this goes back to last postseason when Buehler struck Lindor out and yelled, quote, fuck you, bitch ass. I'm not a lip reader, but that's what I was told he says. Fuck you, bitch ass. Fuck you, bitch ass. As he strikes out Lindor and walks off the mound in the playoffs. Right? So, a look is exchanged. These players that, they got memories, right? They're not that stupid, these professional athletes who didn't even get college degrees, unlike us 3, us 2.
Fuck you, dude.
I'm going to force Jack to go back to college if he wants to keep this job. Sorry, dude, there's a requirement. If you want to produce, podcast doesn't exist. It's very important that you have a college degree.
Doesn't matter the degree, right?
Yeah, anything you want, Jack. I mean, dude, we'll pay for it, Jack. We should do that. Let's start a GoFundMe to send Jack back to college and he can do a degree in anything. How fun would that be, Jack?
What do you want your degree to be in?
Yeah.
Well, it's so funny that you say that because it's like I didn't go to college and here I am producing a podcast and I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what the fuck would I have gone to college for, bro? You know what I mean?
Oh, you could have been an accountant and made a lot more money. Your parents would have been proud. Now you produce this shit podcast that we're going to stop doing in 2 weeks. I just announced that again. This is the last episode.
I don't like your energy today, dude. You're acting like a real Juan Soto right now.
You turned, what, 26?
27.
27. Damn. When I
Fucking
turned
baby.
27, it was like, oh, my life is over.
I know. I feel like Juan Soto. Fuck, I'm here with Jack and fucking Mitchell. These dorks, bro.
How did I end up here with these losers?
I'm going to give you your birthday licks later, dude.
Yeah, Jack's going to beat my ass. You know, Jack does train. He could probably fucking submit me so easily, but he can't because you know why? We're sending him to college. Jack Schwartz goes back to college. What the fuck were we talking about?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Anyway, all right. So there was this incident in the Mets Red Sox series, which has been quite the fucking series, right? I mean, reminds you of the '86 World Series. Mets, Red Sox. It's a matchup. Fenway Park. It's just a classic old baseball matchup, and it got chippy. So Walker Buehler hits Lindor with a pitch. Lindor goes to first. Okay. Then he steals second. Walker Buehler throws a strike right down the middle, and Mike Astabrook calls this a ball. And Lindor is safe at second. Buehler gets the ball back and kind of approaches the umpire, wanted some clarification, was pissed off it was called a ball. The umpire, says some words for him, and Buehler says, it's right down the fucking middle. Fuck you. Bam, you're gone. He gets ejected. His manager, Alex Cora, comes out. Alex Cora is livid. He gets ejected, goes back in the dugout, and fucking destroys the bullpen phone. Was that before or after the ejection?
I think it's after.
Well, I mean, shit's getting flown around. They break the bullpen phone. They lose their starting pitcher, and this is the third inning it is, or second inning?
Yeah.
So it's a bad time to lose your starter. In the midst of all of this, there's a clip going around of Lindor at second base basically cheering on the ejection, kind of basically like telling the umpire to eject Walker Buehler, which a lot of people had issue with, including Walker Buehler, who saw this clip on Twitter and responded to it saying, I wouldn't want me out there either. Sad thing is the bullpen is full of fucking animals. Tough choice. Okay. So bullpen comes in and shuts down the Mets. The Mets did not score in this game at all, do they?
They got shut out.
Got shut out. So be careful what you wish for. They put in that bullpen, and the bullpen shuts them down. Crew chief after the game, Laz Diaz, talks about the ejection, says, quote, he can say stuff from the mound, but once he comes off the mound, he's leaving his position to argue balls and strikes. Once anybody leaves their position to argue balls and strikes, that's an immediate ejection. Basically saying, since he's coming out of his position, going towards the umpire, complaining about balls and strikes, he can be ejected. Now, it looks like a very weak ejection. I'll be honest. To eject a starting pitcher for arguing balls and strikes, who doesn't argue balls and strikes? And you're the starting pitcher. To get ejected as a starting pitcher, there's obviously a higher threshold because it's like, what are you going to get a guy in the bullpen? They have a little bit more leeway. It was a quick tossing, I think.
I also think Buehler, there's a steal attempt, right? So the catcher has to throw it down the second. Buehler's watching the play. He turns around and he just wants clarification. He was like, that was a strike, right? And Estabrook holds up 2-0. And you can see Buehler's brain kind of process that. He's like, wait, what? And so for 3 or 4 seconds, there's nothing. And then it dawns on Buehler that Estabrook said it was 2-0 instead of 1-1. And so he clarifies again, how was that a ball? That was right down the middle. And that's when the umpire starts approaching Buehler first. So I get the whole rule, you can't leave your position to argue balls and strikes or blah, blah, blah. But the umpire approached Buehler first. That looks bad on the umpire's part.
Yeah, it was a bad look for the umpire, and he's getting a lot of shit online. Hey, everyone's getting shit online, man. It's like the story of the day. No one can live. But yeah, Mets lose. Mets lose 2 in a row, 3 in a row, and the Phillies are on their fucking ass. I mean, the Phillies have passed, and the Phillies are hot as shit right now. Phillies have the 10th best ERA this month, but have the 5th best offense. Alex Boehm has come into his own. Alex Boehm was struggling early. Now Alex Boehm is back. Kyle Schwarber has been the hottest hitter in baseball. Maybe that's an exaggeration. One of them. 8 home runs this month, of 177 WRC plus. He just hit his 300th in Colorado. Oh my God. Kyle Schwarber in Colorado shouldn't be fair.
I should
fair.
hate it as a Braves fan to see Schwarber hit home runs. But man, that ball coming off the bat, I don't think there's a better looking home run in baseball.
Dude, I love Kyle Schwarber's game. Just big, fat guy who just hits bombs. And he doesn't even move. And he's not even that fat. He's just big, dude. He's built. He's like, he has skinny legs and a big top half. Like, he is the quintessential home run hitter. Can't run, can't field. He just hits bombs. Can't even hit doubles, really.
No, just home runs.
Singles and home runs, and gets walked a lot.
I can't wait for him to become a free agent and hopefully not sign with the Phillies, because I love watching Schwarber hit home runs.
I think he might be a good fit for the Nationals. But hey, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, the Phillies bullpen has also been amazing, haven't they?
For the most part, like I think last episode even, I was saying, yeah, I don't know how much you can trust Jordan Romano. Apparently, I do not know what I'm talking about because he is not allowed to run this month.
Yeah, Jordan Romano.
They have
been beastie.
Kirkering. He has a 1.42 ERA this month. Like the worst full-time reliever pretty much was the guy who just got suspended. So
their worst this month.
Jose Alvarado had a 5.06 ERA, and the only guy in the bullpen with worse ERAs were Carlos Hernandez and Tanner Banks, and I don't think either one of those are like high leverage.
Okay, so that's just May, right?
That's just May. So
I believe Alvarado was like the 4th best reliever by WAR in the league this year when he got suspended. So whether the Phillies bullpen has been good this month or not, that is going to be a big issue for them, and they're going to be looking for relievers in the bullpen. But dude, they're the 3rd best bullpen in baseball this month.
I definitely.
No, I'm sorry. They're the 3rd best pitching staff. Let's look at their bullpen alone. They're 4th in bullpen.
Yeah.
So they're 4th best bullpen, and that's their weakness. So, I mean, if the Phillies have the 4th best bullpen in baseball, I'm ready to fucking send them to the World Series, honestly.
I definitely have been underrating the Phillies this month. I think them catching the Mets really snuck up on me.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like the Mets had a pretty good gap coming into the month. And then I don't feel like the Phillies have had a long winning streak. They've just won multiple games in a row, then lost, but never had a losing streak.
Yeah.
They just kept winning. And 13-5 this month.
13-5.
And I don't feel like I've heard much about that.
No, they haven't gotten a lot of attention. The Mets have gotten a lot of attention. The Braves have gotten more attention. I mean, the NL East is becoming, early on it didn't look strong because the Braves started out so bad, but right now, Phillies, Mets, and the Braves are kind of iffy still. But, like, they've had the best record in baseball since, April 19th, so I'd throw them in there.
Joey and I are reacting to the Braves after watching them lose.
Yeah.
So
all right.
we're down on them.
The Braves are on a 1-game losing streak, so we are totally down. I mean, Strider came back last night. So Spencer Strider, and we've heard Braves fans talk their ass off about just wait till Strider gets back. Unfortunately for us, Strider did not look good in his return. His velo is down. So in 2022, his last full season was 2022, or that was 2023?
2023 was his full season.
So his average velocity was 98 in 2022, 98, 97, 2022, 2023. This season, it's 95. So he's dropped about 3 miles per hour. Granted, it's 2 starts coming off 2 injuries. Hopefully that velocity ticks up, but last night was not pretty. What was his final line? Do you got that?
It was like... Was it 4 1/3 innings, 4 runs, a bunch of hits, so many hits. And I think he even walked a batter or 2. The Nationals ran themselves into a lot of outs last night. They had a caught stealing. They had a pickoff error that CJ Abrams didn't realize Austin Riley caught the ball and then headed home. And then who was it on second that just like got picked off?
Yeah, Strider just ran and tagged them out, right?
But yeah, basically every inning that Strider was out there, the Nationals were running themselves into outs. So it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, so we gave up 4 runs and 4 1/3, only had 3 strikeouts, which is really bad, but it could have been even worse. So it was not a good return for Strider. There's also concern because of his velo in his sim game was down. I think they were reading at like 93 or something, which for Strider is insane because he was throwing 100 plus. But that was a sim game. He said it himself, bro. I wasn't trying my fucking hardest. I wasn't maxing out my velocity in a sim game coming off an injury. He didn't have one rehab start, so this basically was his rehab start. I guess if you're a Braves fan, the good thing if you're a Braves fan is that in the minors where he has most of his starts this year, 3 starts, his K per 9 is over 17. So he's shown that he still has electric shit coming off his second Tommy John. But coming off the groin injury is another issue. Like, I mean, after last night, I wouldn't be surprised if I woke up this morning and Strider's back on the IL with something else, you know.
I feel like his velocity is such a big factor. I think we saw that in the 2022 playoffs when he was injured and he came back and pitched really well for 2 innings, and then the velocity just tanked and the Phillies acted like he was a double-A pitcher. If he's not at 97, and that 2 mile an hour apparently is the biggest difference in the world. I don't know. I'm not worried. It's 1 start. They probably should have sent him on a rehab assignment. But it was, and the Nationals offense, they're not bad. Like, I think when you hear the Nationals and you see their record, you're going to be like, oh, their offense is terrible. But C.J. Abrams and James Wood are like all-star level hitters, even if they were on a different team.
Yeah, but it's concerning too because Strider's always been a fastball slider guy basically, and he does have a changeup that he throws, but not a lot. So he kind of relies on 2 pitches. And when he was at his best coming up in the league, he was just throwing 100-mile-per-hour fastballs right down the middle, and nobody could touch it because the fastball is just so nasty. So if you lose that fastball, like, what is the future for him? Because he's gonna have to learn how to pitch completely different, and he only has 2.5 pitches. So if that fastball is not elite, Strider might cease to be elite, which is scary. But you don't want to overreact. It's 1 start, but it is something to look at. It's something to look at, man. And you don't want to end up like the Dodgers, because the Dodgers, have we said this before? They have 0 pitching. Like, I'm like actually concerned about I've gotten to the point where I'm scared of the Dodgers.
I've talked myself out of the Dodgers. Their offense is so good. I think it's scary good.
Is that a crazy quote though? I've talked myself out of the Dodgers, but I don't think you're far off. I agree with this.
Like, I think it's a crazy statement. I've talked myself out of the Dodgers. Their offense is crazy good. Like, if I'm a starting pitcher on a normal team and I see Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman, I'm like, shit. And then Will Smith is right after them, and he's even better than 2 of those guys.
A few days ago, I did this story. I'm not sure if this still stands, but the 3 best hitters in the National League by WRC+, Freddie Freeman number 1, Ohtani number 2, Will Smith number 3. So the 3 best hitters in the National League are in one lineup. And that does not include Mookie Betts. It doesn't include Pajes, who's been going off. It doesn't include Teoscar Hernandez, who's back off the IL. Tommy Edman, who I think is coming back off the IL. Doesn't even include Max Muncy, who hit a walk-off last night. Like, the offense is so deep that you just think they can withstand any pitching injury, but
they can't.
I don't know. The last week or so has been tough for the Dodgers. Now, they won last night in a one-run win.
But they had the only good pitcher on their team going.
That's true. That was Yamamoto. If Yamamoto wasn't pitching that game, because that game went in the extras, tied 1-1. So if Yamamoto doesn't start that game, there is no chance the Dodgers win it. But they do, because they have Yamamoto, who you got to tip your cap. I mean, Yamamoto's could just save their season if he continues to be this elite. He could win the Cy Young this year. But fuck, they lost 4 out of 5. And over the last 8 games, sorry. The Dodgers have scored 8 runs per game over their last 6 games. This is before last night, and we're 2-4. So the best offense in baseball. They averaged 8 runs a game, and we're still 2-4. Okay, they have the most runs scored in MLB since May 14th, and are 2-4, which I don't think happens very often. But it just goes to show, man, if everybody gets hurt, Houston, we have a problem, man. Let's get Shohei back on the fucking mound, man. I'm tired of watching Landon Knack get starts.
I'm just like looking at the Dodgers schedule. They lost a game 11-1. They lost a game 2-6. They lost a game 11-9. They lost a game 5-9. 4-6. Like, they haven't lost a close game, like, with low runs. Last night, if they had lost, that would have been like the first loss. And they were like, well, the offense didn't get it done today.
They score a lot of runs and they give up a lot of runs. And Tony Gonsolin got hurt too. Did you see that? He had like a weird blister bleeding
No.
out of his finger. I mean, it doesn't look serious, but he had a blister in his last start. So it's like maybe they're just cursed at this point. Yeah, Gonsolin went down with the blister. I think he completed his start. It wasn't a great start, but hopefully that blister. I mean, that's just a kick in the nuts if you lose Tony Gonsolin to a blister after everyone's they've lost. Dustin May over the last month has been terrible. His last like 5 starts. That's concerning. There's just a lot of concerns with that starting staff. I mean, at some point it just becomes laughable, and it's been laughable for the past 2 seasons. I mean, how many injuries the Dodgers have withstood. But it continues. It continues. I think they might lose the division. What are their playoff odds right now? It feels just like no matter what happens to the Dodgers, they're always going to be projected to.
I'm about to check. My blind guess is that it's still at like 90%, though.
I mean, they're going to make
97%.
They are going to make the playoffs. They could just demote every single pitcher they have, put in their AAA pitchers. I think they'd still make the playoffs. Would the Dodgers make the playoffs with their minor league pitching staff?
If the offense stays healthy, yeah.
I mean, they have a 97% chance.
But I think the thing is, can they win the division? Because in 2021, they did not win the division, and they basically lost the NLCS because they didn't have home field advantage. The Braves walked off the first 2 games of that series. Like you can argue that if things were flipped, the Dodgers would have easily taken that series.
Yeah, I mean, for all the talk that teams don't want that bye, that long layoff, it seems like every team actually desperately wants that long layoff. They want that bye. They don't want to play that 3-game series. And the Giants continue to be good. I mean, the Padres, the Dodgers got lucky because they had this bad stretch, and the Giants and the Padres also had a similarly bad stretch where I don't think the Dodgers have even really lost any ground in their division lead, which right now is just 1 game since they've been going on this bad stretch.
Everyone, the top 3 in the NL West are 4-6 in the last 10 games, 5-5, 4-6, 6-4. So
Hey.
the Rockies are the only ones not basically within 1 game of 500.
Yeah, is it time to start looking out for the Diamondbacks? Like the Diamondbacks have a chance to get hot right now. If they win tonight, they win a series against the Dodgers. If they win tonight, they're only 3 games back of the Dodgers.
The Diamondbacks pitching might have an argument for one of the worst in baseball. They've lost
Really?
like 3 games that they've scored 10 runs in this year.
See, to me though, that if I'm a Diamondbacks fan, I like that. Like, because I don't think the Diamondbacks pitchers are that bad. They just probably, I think they've probably been pitching. Right now, they're 22nd in team ERA for starting pitchers and 27th in relief pitching. Now, I'm not too familiar with the bullpen situation in Arizona, but I think, on paper at least, to have Corbin Burns, Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, and Brandon Pfaadt, and even Ryan Nelson I'd put there. Like, that's a great starting 5. I'd be worried about Eduardo Rodriguez, who's on the IL, shoulder inflammation. He has not had a good start to his Diamondbacks tenure. I mean, that might be the issue for the Diamondbacks, bro. Like they might have signed 2 of the worst pitching contracts ever. Not ever. That's an exaggeration. But like Eduardo Rodriguez and Jordan Montgomery are on that team on the IL, and they both got paid a lot of money to come to Arizona and have been very, very bad. Very bad. And also Corbin Burns. I hate to say it. If Corbin Burns starts doing bad, then that'll be 3 of the worst pitching contracts. But
Corbin Burns is basically like, is this smoke and mirrors or not? And if it's smoke and mirrors, it's a bad look for the next. Did he sign 6 years? 6 years, right?
Yeah.
That might be a brutal contract too.
It might be. But Corbin Burns has been fired this year. Not what is Corbin Burns' stats for the season? I mean, his last few starts, his last 4 or 5 starts. I want to say Corbin Burns in the last month.
His last 2 starts, he's been
league.
scoreless.
Yeah.
So once he had that start skipped, he hasn't allowed a run. One of them was against the Rockies, but
still counts.
still counts.
It still counts.
The Diamondbacks did lose a game to the Rockies this season, like last week, like 11 to something.
Yeah, they blew a game to the Rockies. You don't want to do that when you're chasing 3 teams ahead of you. But all in all, the Diamondbacks have been great. The Diamondbacks have been better. Have they?
They have a good offense. I think they have a sneaky good offense.
They do.
You don't think when you think best offenses in baseball, you don't really think of the Diamondbacks, but they're a legitimately good offensive team.
Eugenio Suarez has been fire hitting bombs. Perdomo's been under the radar. He's been one of the best offensive players in the league, and no one talks about Perdomo. Everyone knows about goddamn Corbin Carroll. I love the Diamondbacks because they have all these lefties who have the same exact batting stance. I mean, when Corbin Carroll's at the plate, Alec Thomas is at the plate, and I think this new guy Tim Tawa, they have the same exact stance.
I remember watching a few Diamondbacks games, and Alec Thomas is at the plate, and he hits, and I kind of like glaze over it, and then Corbin Carroll comes up, and I'm like, wait.
I thought he just hit.
I thought he was just up.
Ketel Marte has been fire. Yeah, the offense is fire. Josh Naylor even, that was been a very good signing. Tim Tawa is a rookie, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about Tawa.
He's been good. I personally don't know that much about him.
I'm sorry for yelling.
Overall, a really good slash line. I think he's a utility player. Yeah,
Tell me about Tim Tawa. What's his background? What did his parents do?
Give me like 5 minutes.
Like, I want to know his what kind of cloth is this guy cut from?
Well, he's an 11th round pick. He's 5'11". He's a second baseman. He's 26. That just screams scrappy infield.
Ooh, I'm 5'11".
Smart.
He's smart.
Went to Stanford.
Okay. All right, Tim.
Probably
Tawa.
a future assistant GM. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's more than none of these Dodger players went to college. They all signed first round out of high school, so it's maybe that's the difference. They got a guy from Stanford. They got these nerds, and that's how they're going to beat the Dodgers. But I would be watching Diamondbacks in that division. I mean, everyone's been focused on the gritty Giants and the slamming San Diego Padres, but don't sleep on the Snakes. Don't sleep on the Snakes. I saw this funny stat. Wilmer Flores, who one of the most underrated players in baseball, this guy is in the 2 percentile in bat speed. His average bat speed is 65.5 miles per hour, which to me sounds slow as fuck. His bat speed is down 2 miles per hour over the past 2 years. He has 10 home runs. He's on pace for 34 home runs and has like the third worst bat speed in the league or something crazy. He's like bottom 5 in bat speed. You'd think he'd have no power. 34 home runs he's on pace for. Think he's got 10 already? Shout out to Wilmer Flores.
Wilmer Flores might be one of the most clutch players in MLB history. I feel like there was a stat that was like most walk-off homers, most grand slam something, and it was something like Bryce Harper #1, Wilmer Flores #2. Like if you bottom of the 9th inning, 2 outs, runner in scoring position, you have your like pick of any MLB player and hitter to come to the plate, you need to pick Wilmer Flores.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Flores could be the first Giant since Barry Bonds to hit 30 homers.
What?
They have not had a 30-homer guy since Barry Bonds.
Oh, my God.
Brandon Belt had 29 once.
When did the 2004 was his last year?
2007 was Bonds' last year. I'm going to pull up 30 home run seasons.
That's 18 seasons out of 30 home run season. I think Jung Hoo Lee might get it. That would be crazy. I doubt it. Jung Hoo Lee has actually he's fallen down to earth, which is unfortunate, but it's just a month. We still love the grandson of the wind. I think Helio Ramos might hit 30 this year.
Yeah, I mean, I always trust a guy who hits the ball into McCovey Cove as a righty.
Yeah, I mean, that guy, he's also one of the most underrated players. Him and Flores, both go under the radar. The Giants in general go under the radar. But they're still sticking around. Pete Crow Armstrong, I saw this is a great stat too. He has the worst chase rate in baseball. He just swings at anything, but he's second in the MLB in WAR, 8th in home runs, 12 home runs. Pete Crow Armstrong. I know that had nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it's here, so I'm going to say it.
We're talking about the Cubs now?
You want to talk about the Cubs? You got something on the Cubbies?
Just a few things. Drew Pomeranz hasn't pitched since 2021. He's on the Cubs. He now has a 0 ERA.
Oh, no. I mean, sorry, I was just reading the next thing. Shout out to Drew Pomeranz. They need him because it's the next line. Shota. What's going on with Shota?
I missed this injury. Did you?
I remember he got hurt. And
I don't remember this at all.
But there's so many injuries going around. I mean, what pitcher isn't getting hurt in MLB these days?
Normally, when I go through teams, I'll like go through the stats and then like just to double check, I'll see if any of these guys are injured or in the minors. And so I went to the Cubs roster resource and I was like, Shota's injured? Like I have no recollection of this, but he's apparently going to be out for a month.
Yeah, that's not good. Do the Cubs have depth at the starting pitching staff? I was just looking at their staff. I was like, who is the Cubs pitchers these days? Matthew Boyd, Ben Brown, Tyone, Colin Ray, Cade Horton now is up there to replace Mr. Imanaga, but that's a big loss for the Cubbies. Maybe it's time for the Brewers to make a run.
If they can score a run, which they can't.
Brewers have been a tough watch. One of the most. I mean, they've won 3 in a row, so let's give them their flowers. But overall in the season, it's been disappointing. They're a game under 500. They're behind the Reds and the Cardinals right now, which going into the year, I think you'd be pretty disappointed as a Milwaukee Brewers fans being in 4th place. But what is their issue? Do they have anything good happening?
So, I mean, pitching is fine. And it's funny that we're doing this as they're up 2-1 right now against Baltimore, and that could put them at a 4-game winning streak. But, like, offensively, they have one of the worst offenses this month. They have 49 runs scored this month. The only team with fewer runs is the Pirates. The only team, like, that they're close to is the Orioles, and that's 6 more runs the Orioles have scored than the Brewers this month. And my first thought is a few of their star hitters must be injured, right? Like, there's no way their offense is this bad. Their injured list is fine.
Yeah. But that's the issue. Usually some of their star players have to be injured, but it's like they don't have star players. The Brewers, like, that's how they run the organization. We do not want a star player. Christian Yelich was a star player.
And he's terrible.
Yeah, Rhys Hoskins
is good.
And he's been their best hitter this season. Which is good to see because Hoskins has been down. He was hurt in a whole season, came back last year, was not good, did not get back to his Philly days. But this year, it looks like he's back to his Philly days. But I mean, as a Brewers fan, you look back and your best offensive player is Rhys Hoskins. It's probably not, ideal.
You come into the season with arguably the best catcher in baseball. And he's playing through a broken hand, so that's technically an injury. But he's not. he's still
Don't
playing.
Do that.
He's still playing.
Yeah, a fractured hand. I guess technically a fractured hand is an injury.
Grow up, William. Grow up. But like that hand injury
pussy
zapped his power. I think he has 3 homers all year or something like that. But the worst thing I've come across for the Brewers is that once they're down, they do not win a game. Their largest comeback this year is 1 run.
To me that means they have a struggling bullpen.
At any point in a game, if they are trailing, so let's say they went down 1-0 against the Orioles today, they would have basically had like a 90% shot at losing because they can't overcome any loss or any deficit. They have not been down by 2 runs at any point in a game this year and then won.
Yeah, that's tough because they don't have any offense. I guess if you look at it though, their offense is. I mean, the Brewers the Brewers and the Guardians are the same fucking team in my head. It's like they're not good at really anything, but they're not bad at anything. And then it ends up at the end of the season, they actually are a net positive because they don't really have any glaring weaknesses and everything is good enough. And if they're in a kind of mid division, they can win that division. The AL Central is not a mid division anymore. They're arguably the best division in the league, but the NL Central, I would still kind of put them in. I'll still put them in the mid category.
I think it's tough for the Brewers, though, because they are in fourth place, and it's early, and they're only 4 games back. But, like, if everyone is going to be as mid as they are in the Central, and you're going to be scoring, like, 4 runs a game, 3 runs a game, you're not going to do yourself any favors. And they already had low playoff odds coming into the season. But I think we kind of were like, oh, well, they always have low playoff odds, and then they win anyway.
I feel like also the toughest thing for them, a guy we haven't talked about, is Churio, who...
So bad.
Yeah. I mean, Churio, was he Rookie of the Year last year? That was Skeens, but I guess he was 3rd in Rookie of the Year behind Jackson Merrill and Skeens. But Churio, I mean, come on, man. He was your light. I want to say he was the best player on the team last year as a rookie. Follow up a rookie year like that is not ideal for the Brewers. But like I said, man, they win today. That's 4 in a row. And then they fucking, who knows? I mean, if the Cardinals can win 12 in a row, why can't the Brewers? I would still say the Brewers are better than the Cardinals. So fucking, hey, word on the chin, Brewers. The Brewers can get hot. You know who needs to get hot? The fucking team that, know who's the biggest disappointment in baseball? I'm going to say it, Mitch. The Mets. No, the freaking Texas Rangers, dude.
I'm trying to find that section in our doc.
The Texas Rangers, man. Ever since that hat come up, ever since Drake wore his hat with the boob hat, the T-Tots hat, and we gave away a T-Tots hat, like we've been trying to spark them off. But the Rangers have been not good. But and here's the crazy thing about the Rangers is they have the number one starting pitching staff in baseball, which going into the season was not their fucking strength. Like the Rangers offense has been that's their whole thing. They hit bombs with Adolis Garcia hitting. Adolis Garcia, something's going on with our Cuban superstars, bro. Because Adolis Garcia and Yordan Alvarez are not hitting home runs. And did you see Yasiel Puig in Korea?
He's not in Korea anymore.
He left Korea. So like 3 Cuban boppers are having bad seasons. Adolis Garcia, who right now has a 89 OPS plus, not great. Freaking Yordan Alvarez, who I think has like 4 home runs this year, which is not Yordan Alvarez. And Yasiel Puig is hurt and he left his team in Korea. God dang. But the offense hasn't, I mean, Marcus Semien has fallen off a cliff. That's concerning. He's got a 48 OPS plus. Jock Peterson has been damn near the worst player in baseball most of this year. He's up to a 46 OPS plus. I mean, I look at a 46 OPS for Jock Peterson. I'm like, oh, damn, he must have gotten hot. Like, he's had one of the worst starts of the season in the league. Corey Seager's been hitting great. Shout out to Corey Seager. But this offense.
Seager's injured too.
Seager's injured now?
He had a hamstring injury. He sat out a few days, played 1 game against the Cubs, had like a 4-for-5 day with 2 homers, and then went on the IL with a hamstring injury.
It's not good. But they did go on a nice little streak here. They won 6 in a row last week. The week before over the past 2 weeks. But then they've lost 3 of their last 4. So you thought the Rangers were getting back to business, but they have not. With the number 1 pitching staff in baseball, with DeGrom coming back, being what he is, Tyler Mahle, who, I mean, come on, man. Tyler Mahle has a 1.47 ERA. What more could you ask for? Eovaldi, I think, is the best pitcher in baseball, Jack. I might have to say it, dude. I think Nathan Eovaldi might be the best pitcher in baseball.
I've been saying that.
You have? Well, I apologize for sleeping on you, man. I should listen to you more. He's actually 5th in WAR right now. But 2nd and 3rd in the American League, 1.61 ERA. Best pitching staff in baseball, but they can't get it going.
I was thinking that, maybe the offensive coordinator was the issue, so I went back and checked. First player I had to look at was Jock Peterson. He has a 159 WRC plus since they fired their offensive coordinator.
All right.
I went, oh, nice. Part of that is because he's walking 26% of the time.
Good.
Corey Seager's hit well when he did play his 3 games. Jake Berger came back up. He's hit okay.
Okay.
Everyone else is 100 WRC plus or worse. So probably was not
the
offensive coordinator.
I don't know.
Is Brett Boone fixing the Rangers offense?
Do they have a new offensive coordinator? Or did they just replace the offensive coordinator with not?
I think they just made it a hitting coach because it's Brett Boone now.
Okay.
And he is the hitting coach.
So with no offensive coordinator, they're actually hitting better. I like to see Jock get hot. Because the thing about the Texas Rangers, they've underachieved. The reason why I'm down on the Rangers is not because, I mean, they're a game over 500, so it's not like they're completely out of it. Haven't been a total embarrassment. But in this division, when you see the Mariners just kind of feels like they're running away with the division, like no one else can claim they've had a good year. I mean, the Houston Astros are 2 games above 500 in second place, 2.5 games back, but I don't think Astro fans are jumping up and down excited about what's going on in Houston right now. And then you got the Angels and Athletics behind them. You don't have to have me tell you those aren't the 2 strongest franchises in baseball. But let me tell you this right now: the Angels have surpassed the Athletics, the Oakland Athletics.
Both of those teams are like big offense power teams who don't pitch. I think with the Angels, it's just that they hit home runs. But I would actually push back that the Mariners have had a chance to run away with this thing. But they're only 2.5 games up on the Astros.
Yeah.
Their run differential is pretty much the same.
There's not the Mariners are definitely not running with the division. It's just, what I was saying is that it kind of feels like they are. They're the only team in the division who are looking at their season right now and are happy with what happened.
Yeah.
And the Mariners are the opposite of the Rangers, where they are just hitting the shit out of the ball and aren't pitching as well. When you thought going into the season it would be the opposite. But I mean, the big dumper just keeps hitting fucking home runs. You know who also is an interesting player? Just to show you how fucking dumb baseball is. My man SodaStream. Why do I not know his real name? I just know him as SodaStream. Tyler Soderstrom, who led the league in home runs for a minute, right? He had how long did it take him to get to 10 home runs?
I felt like it took like 20 games.
Hold on, boys. I'll get it. So what's the SodaStream stats? What is the tail of the tape for SodaStream? So Tyler SodaStream, 6'2", 200 pounds, coming out of Turlock, California, first round draft pick, hits the league fucking running this year. No one was talking about SodaStream, but he gets his 10th home run on.
So it was the 9th home run
So he had 9 home runs in the first 19 games, and I think that's when he led the league. Right, this guy had an OPS over 1,000, could not fucking miss. Okay, SodaStream, 9 home runs by April 17th. Since April 17th, he has 1 home run in his past 30 games. What happened?
baseball.
You get hot, right? You get hot, and then you get cold. It's depressing. Not me. All I do is I get hot, and I stay hot.
How does somebody's batting need to be for you to not call them SodaStream, though?
What do you mean? It's a compliment. Do you think Tyler would be offended by that? I don't want to offend any players. Like, I like Tyler SodaStream, but like, I think it's a good nickname. I think, you know.
Would you not look at this name, Jack, and also say SodaStream?
I mean, if we're doing that, then what do we feel about Cockring and fucking?
I don't know. Do you want to call him Cockring? I think that's a little more disrespectful, Jack.
What's Cockring's real name?
Tyler Cockring. I don't know what you're talking about right now. Who's Cockring?
You know what I'm talking about, Mitch.
Everyone in the comments know. Is there an MLB player named Cockring that Jack? I mean,
we talked about him earlier.
I do not remember referring to a player named Cockring. I didn't know there was.
I thought we were all thinking the same thing, dude.
Yeah, you don't know. It's just like the guy doesn't know any player's name, so he just knows this guy's name is Cockring, but you don't know his real name.
Hold on,
okay. Let's get it.
Who are you talking about?
If anyone knows who Jack is talking about, please let us know in the comments. We really want to know because apparently there's a cock ring going around MLB.
I hear somebody and I'm like, oh, it's that guy from, and then I'm like, I don't know what team he plays for. I don't know his first name. I don't know what position he plays. I don't know anything, dude.
He's over here going, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm talking about.
You don't know cock ring? Look at us, dude. We're just fake baseball fans. We act like we know everything. We don't even know who Cockring is.
I'm like
Cockring. He's having a good season. He's hitting above average.
Mitch is just searching variations of Cockring.
Yeah. How do I search Cockring MLB? Do they sell those?
Would you get one?
I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff, dude. I don't even know what that's for, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, we could
cock ring.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. We'll do another segment on a cock ring next episode.
Over a 30-minute BDE video.
Yeah, a deep dive. Who is cock ring in MLB? All right. Any other subjects we want to any other stories around MLB you want? Any teams you want to cover, Mitchell? Before we send this one out, get to the questions.
I feel like we're going to get criticized for not talking about an American League Central team. So we need to say like 1 minute maybe about...
well, the Guardians have lost 4 in a row.
Yeah, the Guardians. I mean, the Guardians are such a weird team. They've got a negative 20 run differential. They're 4 games over 500. You look at their players, and they're all really good or really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Cleveland, whoever their GM is... They need to go out and find more mid players. Like, commit to a mid player.
Right.
It might save your team.
Right. You don't want superstars. You don't want bums. You just want a bunch of mid guys. I mean, it's working for the Giants.
I mean, yeah. Cleveland, if you want to make the playoffs, now this division is going to be impossible. You're going to need to get someone with an 80 WRC plus, a guy who has 0 outs above average, 26 feet per second speed. He's not going to do anything, but he's going to do a lot for your team and not be the worst players in baseball.
Yeah. You won't get as much coverage on Podcast Doesn't Exist. We pretty much exclusively talk about the worst players in baseball or the best players in baseball.
Or the weirdest, or some sort of suspension.
Or if your name's Cockring, that helps. We'll give you a mention. We'll give you a shout out. But if your name isn't Cockring and you're just average, we're not talking about you. Nationals have won 4 in a row. They beat our Braves last night on Bark in the Park night.
You guys were both at the game.
I was at the game. I brought my girlfriend's dog came. It was dogs everywhere. A lot of cute puppies. Bark in the Park is overrated, bro.
I honestly, did you see that that video of the dog sitting in the rain in Minnesota?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Poor puppy.
Poor dog.
These dogs really don't want to be there. I find they're just not. Dogs, like, I love dogs. They're cute. They're not that big of baseball fans. Believe it or not, they rather play fetch, but they're kind of just in their seats. It's kind of
like this dog.
It's cute. You get a hot dog, you give it to the dog, you like it, but you got to carry him around. It's a lot to bring a dog to a baseball game.
This poor Twins fan brought their dog. I don't know dog breeds, but this poor dog. I don't think I've ever seen a sadder dog in my life. He's really questioning why he's living.
Dude, my girlfriend's dog was golden retriever. We're up there in that old section. There was a bulldog in front of us. This bulldog, I mean, was like it was like the Daniel Vogelbach of bulldogs. I mean, fat as fuck, but even for a bulldog, wrinkly face, cutest dog I've ever seen. And it just kept trying to sniff my girlfriend's dog's ass the whole game, and it was like distracting. I couldn't focus on the game, so I had to like lift the dog's tail up so she could get a sniff. So like I could like because I just want to let's get it over with. Sniff it once and then let's tap in.
You're getting way too involved. You don't have to even take part in this interaction between.
No, because the dog was looking back. You could tell the dog was uncomfortable. It was making me uncomfortable because it's like, I mean, it wants a sniff, but it can't get access. So I lifted up. The dog fucking sniffs and dude, full on sneeze right in the dog's butt. Dude, it was crazy. I mean,
Jack, imagine
crazy.
You're at a baseball game. It's Bark in the Park night. You've accidentally bought seats to the wrong section, and you just look over and you see this dude pick up his dog's tail for another dog. What would you think of that person?
That's the type of shit that makes you want to just go to a hockey game. And
you don't think they got you don't let dogs in hockey games?
No, it's inside.
Dogs can't be inside?
Do they have Bark in the arena?
They got Bark in the arena. They did it for the Wizards this year because no one wanted to go to a Wizards game. They had a dog day at the Wizards game. They did not have it at the Caps game because they sell tickets. Dude, the fucking Nats had every promotion in the book last night.
But they'll try anything. The Wizards will literally do anything.
I went to a Wizards game and they had a free T.I. concert afterwards. Didn't even know. It's like we went to the game. There was like T.I.'s performing after the game. We're like, what? No one at the game. At halftime, it was empty, dude. By the fourth quarter, everyone started steaming in. Does he want to see a free T.I. concert? Fuck yeah. You know my name is T.I. You know me.
Is that a T.I. song?
You know my name is T.I. No, it's fucking Kanye. No shit, it's T.I. You know my name is T.I. You know me. Who do you think? Yeah, who's that by? Is that a T.I.? Fuck you, Jack. Fuck you.
You've ruined his birthday.
I think we need to give him a sec.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate you giving me a Zen. I ran out of Zens. I've been fucking stressed out all day, I'll be honest. But let's get to some questions. Day 2 of how you rate the Twin City Connect jerseys. Are there new ones? Twin
No,
City
it's the same like light blue
City
and yellow.
Connect. Oh, yeah. Nah. I mean, they're not bad. They're not bad. But they're not my favorite. I don't mind them. But they really just look like the Phillies City Connect jerseys. If you remember the Phillies City Connect jerseys are like very similar. And I would put them on the mid to below mid. That would be my ranking.
I feel like
Not
there
a big fan.
are City Connects that the players enjoy wearing, and the City Connects that players are like, ugh. And I feel like this would be in that category.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. I like. It also reminds me of the Mariners ones are very similar with the same colors, and I like the Mariners.
I like the
ones.
Mariners ones.
Yeah, the Mariners ones are cool. So I'm gonna give you. I'll give you a flat 5. I mean, they're not terrible. Wait, what are these? Oh, they're new light blue ones. Or are those am I looking at a fake jersey?
The City Connects are the the blue ones.
Okay, yeah, this is a fake jersey. Well, these jerseys that this guy made on his Instagram account are like 20 times better than what they got. So shout out to this guy. Oh, whoever made this fake jersey is really cool. And I know no one can see this except me, but deal with it. All right.
Yeah, I'm trying to guess which one you're looking at. Is it
It's
the one that says the cities?
No, it's MSP. It's like a light powder blue. I want to say it's real. It's not real. Okay. Brother, what hat is that? This one I'm wearing right now, this is Braves. I think you were referring to my softball hat. The Maestros, which you can buy on the Maestros team store. Maybe. I don't know. You want to be...
Can't be a thing, right?
Honestly, dude, my friend who on the Maestros, he likes making t-shirts and shit. Like we had like a team store. I have like slides with the Maestros logo on it. It's actually way over the top why this like men's beer league softball team and we suck dick has a fucking team store, but we do.
I do like this hat. This is a cool hat.
You like this one? I like it too.
A corduroy kind of thing.
Yeah. My show's got to get better. My shoulder is fucked, bro.
Yeah, I was
Dude, I could tell.
I'm gonna help you with that after this.
I was like, you're going like this.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, he can't play shortstop for.
Dude, I played
game.
two weeks in a row, man, and I woke up the next day like, oh man, it's bad. Like I might not be able to. If we had a game today, I don't know if I'd be able to play. It's fucking barking, and people say, oh, why don't you go to the doctor? Why don't you get it checked out? I don't have health insurance, so what the fuck am I supposed to do?
You don't need a doctor, dude. You just need Jack.
All right, Jack, come stretch me out.
Oh, you had 760 mil in the bank.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I have health insurance.
He's not paying out of pocket like some kind of
Fuck
chump.
that, dude. Shit's overrated. Apparently, if you don't get it after like 60 days, you're fucked. So I'm fucked for another year. If I get injured, I'm fucked. Good thing I have $760 million. Right. Thank you for reminding me, Mitchell. Money man over there. Who's actually the best pitcher right now in each league? Okay. I like this question. Who's the best pitcher in baseball right now? Mitchell.
NL, I think it's Yoshinobu.
Yoshinobu
He is the
Yamamoto.
one guy the Braves have faced this year where they didn't do anything offensively, and I went, yeah, okay, like makes sense. I'm really surprised people score off of him at all. I watched a bit of last night's game. He had a runner on third. He had like 108 pitches, and he's dotting pitches still.
What about Kodai Senga? So Senga's thrown 8 less innings than him. He's got one, so he has one less start. His ERA is about a half run less. I think Senga, I'd give it to Senga just because I love a low ERA. I think that's obviously the most important stat for a pitcher. I guess maybe you could say Yamamoto could be better for the rest of the season, but so far I'd give it to Senga. I mean, the two best pitchers in the National League are Senga and Yamamoto, I would say, by far, which might be a little bit discredit to Jesus Luzardo, who's had a great season, but two Japanese pitchers, man. How Japan took over baseball. And in the American League, I'm giving it to Max Fried, former Brave, 1.29 ERA, 62 innings pitched. He's been a very good signing. He's done better than Juan Soto so far. Just saying. So I'm crowning Max Fried, best pitcher in the American League. Kodai Senga, best pitcher in the National League. And
Wow.
Jack, what do you think?
Adam Wright.
Adam Wright.
That is so close to an actual pitcher.
I know, right?
It is so close.
Adam Wright.
Am I wrong? Is that not a pitcher?
Adam wrong.
Very close, but no.
Adam Wainwright.
Sure.
I got it. I was thinking Kyle Wright. You're thinking of Kyle Wright. No, you're thinking of Adam Wainwright, maybe, who's not a pitcher in MLB anymore. But it was actually a pretty good guess.
Are you sure?
I'm surprised you didn't name Cockring. But
All right. I'm just doing a bit anyway.
I'm pretty sure Adam Wright is not a major league player.
Patrick Corbin, obviously widely known as the best pitcher in baseball.
Patrick Corbin, another solid start last night. I mean, 5 innings, 3 runs against the Yankees. Judge took him deep. So that shouldn't even count. I feel like if Aaron Judge hits a home run off of you, it shouldn't count against your stats. But unfortunately for Corbin, the major league stat, people don't see it that way. And he's still rocking a mid-3. 4th best pitcher in that rotation is Patrick Corbin, who has a mid-3 ERA. That just goes to show that Texas Rangers starting staff have the best staff in baseball, and you're like 1 game over 500. It's pissing me off.
This is over. We're over here. The movie Yesterday where they erased the Beatles. Jack's on the timeline where they erased Adam Wright. He's convinced. He's convinced that Adam Wright is a pitcher.
Hey, man.
He's over here going, type in Adam Wright MLB. MLB.
Adam Wainwright, maybe, Jack? Adam Dunn? Adam Frazier?
No, I ChatGPT'd who's the worst pitcher in the MLB actively, and Adam Wright and Patrick Corbin came up.
Adam Wright?
Adam Wright.
There you go. For all the people who comment on my videos, you just look up this shit up on ChatGPT. Obviously not, because ChatGPT is not.
Is going to make you misinformed like poor Jack over here who's convinced.
Dude, I do wonder, like, people who join the podcast now and then they hear me have a take about baseball and they're like, just completely turned. They're like, this is the worst baseball pod. This guy has no idea what he's fucking talking about.
Well, me and Mitchell know so much ball that it's just like, it's kind of like you take the good with the bad. Honestly, I think they probably like that, how little you know baseball. And once Jack starts like learning about baseball,
You got to fire him and get
Yeah.
a new producer
Like,
who knows
this
nothing
is-
about baseball.
Luckily, I've not been trying to at all. Not even a little, actually.
But it's like osmosis. You start knowing players. It's like my girlfriend. She doesn't like baseball, but we go to baseball games. She hears me talk about baseball, and now she's like,
she goes, "Oh, he's hot."
Luis Garcia has not been doing as well as he did last year. And I'm like, what? Who are you? That's Jack. He's going to be talking.
I am in that boat because I do, like, every day I'm just, like,
Yeah.
thinking about Shohei. Like, he's the league to me.
Jack,
That's all I know.
Jack,
care about.
you're like Mitchell's girlfriend.
when it comes to baseball.
You're like that, dude. You're kind of just like, you got girlfriend energy.
Oh, yeah. I like that, Mitch. Thank you.
He's still calling them points. Hate when girls do that, dude. It's runs, bitch.
Wow. I don't do that. I mean, I'm still a man, dude.
You know the Braves, the Braves just blow a fucking run lead, and your fucking girlfriend. Oh damn, they scored another point.
No, she's going.
It's a fucking run, bitch.
She's going NATS Nats
Right.
Nats Nats in my face because she's become a Nats fan and she loves it. She loves when the Braves lose to the Nats.
I hate when my girlfriend calls it a point. It's not a point. It's a run.
I'm an MMA guy, and my girlfriend is just like, she does the whole, they're hugging. Oh my God. What are they, cuddling? I don't believe in domestic abuse.
No, it's actually very, you don't even understand this. It's very technical. This is combat.
It is, dude.
All right. Well, that's my time. Thank you for coming out. Episode 17. That's the Shohei episode.
This was good for you, dude. I feel like you came in with a bad attitude.
Is that a problem?
No, I mean, it's all good.
No, I have a
Happy.
bad
he has,
I'm
to, he
glad.
has to spend his birthday with us. Like, how would you feel?
I know how Juan Soto feels, man. Fucking hate this podcast. But it makes a lot of money, so I got to keep doing it. All right, we'll see you next time, baby. We'll see you Monday. We love you. 1 hour on the dot, it says, even though I started this like
Hour 22.
all right.